Ever wonder why your car acts up only when it is freezing or boiling outside even though everything else seems fine? When your vehicle throws a P0111 diagnostic trouble code, it is telling you that the intake air temperature sensor number 1 circuit is having a range or performance issue. This is a generic powertrain code that applies to all modern vehicles equipped with onboard diagnostics, although the exact steps to fix it might change slightly depending on whether you are driving a Ford, a Chevy, or a Toyota. Your car's brain, which we call the powertrain control module, uses this sensor to measure how hot or cold the air entering the engine is. It is essentially a thermistor, which is just a fancy way of saying its electrical resistance changes based on temperature. The computer sends a steady 5-volt signal to the sensor and watches how that voltage changes as it passes through. When the air is cold, the resistance is high and the voltage stays high. When the air is warm, the resistance drops and the voltage goes down. This code specifically means the computer saw a change in temperature that was way too big or way too fast to be realistic, like jumping from 0 to 200 degrees in a split second. Most of the time, you might not even notice any symptoms other than that annoying check engine light being on, but sometimes the car might stumble or feel a bit sluggish during acceleration. The most common causes are a flat-out bad sensor, a broken wire in the harness, or a poor connection where the sensor plugs in. To start fixing this, you should use a scan tool to check the intake air temperature reading while the engine is cold and the key is on. It should match your coolant temperature sensor reading almost exactly. If the sensor says it is negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit on a warm summer day, you know something is wrong. You can actually test the sensor yourself by removing it and putting it in a freezer for a bit, then slowly warming it up with a heat gun while watching the resistance with an ohmmeter. The numbers should change smoothly without any sudden jumps or glitches. If the reading is stuck at over 250 degrees Fahrenheit, you likely have a short to ground that needs to be tracked down. If you cannot find any obvious wiring damage or the problem only happens once in a while, try wiggling the wiring harness while watching your voltmeter to see if the signal drops out. If you are not comfortable testing electrical circuits or using a heat gun near plastic parts, it is time to head to a pro. Usually, it is just a simple sensor replacement, but catching it early keeps your engine running at peak efficiency. Thanks for watching and stay safe on the road.